Hi everyone and welcome to Greece from Home, hosted in my home here in Athens, Greece. I am Mary Sinatsaki, hi, nice to meet you, and I will fluctuate between a good accent and a very Greek one, because when I have to talk in English, I feel weird. However, today here we're gonna talk about a great passion of mine, acting. I'm not an actress per se. I have been working the last 3-4 years in some theater productions. I'm a content creator and an entrepreneur here in Greece, and I have been taking classes because I really love this art. If there's one thing I have missed the most during this lockdown is going to the theater. So I'm gonna talk to a few friends of mine, actors and actresses, to find out how they feel about this whole situation, how they imagine the future for their art. And I think it's going to be really interesting because there is nothing more connected to Greek spirit and culture than theater. Let's start with a great friend of mine. She's a triple threater, that's how they call them, the ones that can dance, sing and act at the same time. I've known her since I was like 19-20 years old. We were working at the same music station here in Greece called MATV, and she was really into singing back then. She has been a part in some of the greatest musical productions here in Greece: Fame, Grease, Cabaret, Chicago, Evita, and I can't wait to find out how she feels about everything. Ladies and gents, please welcome Miss Nadia Mpoule. Hi Nadia!
Hello!
How are you? How do you feel?
How do I feel? Well, that's a very nice question after having spent like 40 days in my house. But I think that under the circumstances, I'm feeling well.
Yeah. I've been watching you through Instagram. You have been an inspiration of mine because I need to remember to exercise and eat healthy. And you do that.
I try to. Because I always have in my mind that if there comes a time that we have to go back on stage, I need to be in a very good state if I want to get back in the shows. So I'm trying to keep up with the work that I have to do.
That's so true, because you were in a great production up until the lockdown. You were starring in Chicago, so there were a lot of mini skirts and little clothing there.
True.
What went through your mind when you found out that all theaters are closing and Chicago stopped that Saturday?
Well, to be honest, at first I thought that everyone was exaggerating.
Okay.
And it took some time to realize that it was a great need to stay at home. But at the beginning I was like, we can spend the weekend at the house and then go back at the theater. But then I started realizing how big that thing was worldwide. And I started listening about theaters closing all around the world. And I realized that we had to stay at home and spend time here without having any contact with people around us.
How do you feel about theater on tape? There are a lot of productions that are broadcasted in YouTube. Have you watched any? How do you feel about that?
Of course I have watched. I do know and I understand, and people understand that theater is a live experience. So it's definitely not the same thing when you see it on tape, but it's much better than not seeing it at all. Okay. So the initiatives that have been taken and the productions that we can see at home are great. I'm a very big fan of all these productions. So I have watched a lot of them. I watched Jesus Christ Superstar, Phantom of the Opera, Joseph, and last night I saw Fleabag.
Okay.
And it was good. It was.
Okay. Any Greek productions?
Yes, I saw Bird.
I saw that
yesterday.
Too. Yeah, I saw that too. When this is all over and people start coming again back in Greece, I mean tourists, do you think that they should incorporate a Greek theater experience in their trips?
Definitely yes, because theater, well, it started in Greece, so we do have a great history as far as theater is concerned. And besides the ancient theater and tragedies and comedies that are known very well all across the world, we have contemporary productions that are very, very good and people should see. And just because tourism has gone up in Greece during the last years, and because we do understand that the market is global.
Yeah.
And people come in Greece and they want to have a taste of Greece, and theater is definitely a taste of Greece. A lot of the productions now have subtitles, so you can go and see Greek actors playing, but you can understand what happens in the play, which is very important. And we also have international productions that come to Greece, and that you can see here, as Phantom of the Opera, that started in Greece, that started in Thessaloniki, and then came to Athens. And it was a huge production that had to stop because of the coronavirus. But it was definitely one of the productions that someone had to see. And I know that it buzzed worldwide. People were talking about it.
That's
everywhere.
amazing. That's amazing, because really I could compare the British production to the Greek one, and I like some things more here, to be honest, better than when I watched it back in London. Do you feel inspired as an artist during this pandemic, or you just want to find time for yourself? And
having time for myself gives me the opportunity to get inspired by different things, because I have the time to see shows, to see concerts, to see what other artists do all across the world, to read. And cooking is a great inspiration. And because artists should not be just actors or dancers or singers, they should cultivate their personalities. Being a better person makes you a better artist. That's why I think that this global pause can be really helpful if we decide to see it as a good pause. I'm very optimistic as far as inspiration is concerned, and as far as art is concerned. I do understand, and I can feel that it's going to be difficult for maybe the next months or maybe for the next year, but I truly believe that it can lead to a better place.
I'm sure.
For everyone.
Okay, Nadia, thank you so much. And thank you for this optimistic view on things, because it's not just optimistic, it's realistic as well. It was a great talk. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye, planet and the world. This is it for our first video. I'm gonna see you again, hopefully in the next one. And I hope everyone stays safe, because it's really important to stay in our home, but stay connected in these times that have to be apart in order to be safe. Nice to meet you all. Bye.